Hey guys, I know I did a life update about a month ago, and I did say in that video, and I try to say in every video, that I'm gonna try to start posting more, guys. About 2 weeks after I made that video, guys, well, okay, to preface it, after I made that video, about a week later, I was having some heart issues where my heart rate was going really low. It was dropping into the 50s, and then like in the 50s, or like in the evening, it would go to a higher resting heart rate in the 80s to 90s. But about 2 weeks after I had made that video, I think it was like the 23rd or 24th of September, I had a doctor's appointment. I went in, we discussed my anxiety medication. We were like, okay, we're gonna start this new one. I hadn't started it yet. They gave me 2 vaccinations, the 3rd dose of the HPV prevention, and then I think it was like a meningitis one. I did go back. So, I went to school after it. I got there at like 2 something. And they did keep me about 10 minutes after they gave me the vaccinations because I had a really bad reaction to the first HPV one at my old primary doctor's office. I had passed out and hit my head on the wall. We don't know if I had any symptoms from the second one. But after school, I was sitting in my dorm in the hallway with my 2 friends, and we were just sitting there like having fun. And my watch kept notifying me of a high heart rate. So at like 4:20 something, I finally decided to look at it, and it was 165. I was like, that can't be right. So I put my friend Caitlin's watch on, and it was reading like 140 something, and I was like, okay, that's not normal. So I made the ultimate decision to go over to the student health center. My 2 friends were like, we'll come with you. I stood up and it shot up to 172. So I went in there and I was like, I need you guys to like check my heart rate. My watch is reading it really high. And they were like, what's your watch reading it at? And I was like, it's in the 160s. And so they put me on the pulse ox, and it was in like 140s. It'd go up to the 160s. It was in between 135 and 165. That was the range they were getting. So they listened several different times, and they were still getting those readings. They also checked my blood pressure, and it was like 140 over something. That's really high. I've always had a lower blood pressure. My mom, my grandma, and me, we always have really good blood pressures. So that's out of the norm. And we had 2 nurses there still because our head RN at our school, she was still there finishing some stuff up, so she was helping the evening nurse that we have with me. So she called my mom and was like, you guys can either take her home and monitor her. She goes, if I were you, I would take her in to get an EKG done. And so my mom got out of her work meeting, like she was able to leave her work meeting early. And they kept me on the pulse ox until my mom got there around like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And the lowest they had seen it go was 115 for like a minute, and then it shot right back up. And so we went into the ER. They did an EKG and blood work. All of it came back normal. So they said to follow up with cardiology, to get an appointment with cardiology and to follow up with my primary. Well, I called my primary the next day. And I asked them for a referral. My primary basically declined me and said, no, I want to assess you in my office before I refer you. The earliest appointment they had was October 28th. And so I called them because we go to Children's, and thankfully, since I have Medicaid, I didn't need a referral, but I could have gotten in so much earlier if my doctor would have referred me. So I scheduled an appointment for November 20th, which is next month. And so my nurses just continued to monitor it. And then about another week later, I was having really bad chest pain, so we went to the Children's ER. They basically said the same thing the other ER said, which was follow up with cardiology, you have tachycardia, get in with them. And so my school nurses are still monitoring it. They'll get readings of 150, 140s, 160s. It won't go down into a normal range, really. So luckily, after that second visit, we called cardiology the next day because the doctor at the Children's ER, she recommended calling them and getting set up with a Holter monitor. So even though my cardiologist hasn't seen me, he prescribed it for 14 days. And so it's just a monitor you wear. It sticks to like the side where like your heart kind of is. And so I wore that for 14 days. I got to take it off on the 18th, which was a week ago. So hopefully that'll give them some more results, because the 2 EKGs I had came back normal. The only thing it detected was tachycardia. It's just really frustrating. Because we could have gotten in earlier if my primary would have referred us. I have found a new primary that I will be starting to see on the 18th. It is through the same practice I'm already with. It's just a different primary because I went and saw the children's rehab clinic. Because I've been seeing the urology clinic for over a year now. And they referred me to pelvic PT. And the PT, she just noticed a couple different things during her assessment. So her and the urologist both agreed that they wanted me to see rehab. And she's gonna do an MRI to rule out certain things. And then hopefully they should be continuing with PT. But my doctor wouldn't even give me a referral for that. And then the clinic was like, oh, you have Medicaid, so why don't we just schedule this anyways? She won't give me referrals when I ask. She wants to see me in person. They're always trying to give me appointments on days that I can't go, and I tell them every time I can only do Mondays and Fridays or Thursdays after 1 o'clock. Like, I can't do Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And so my school nurse, the lead nurse, she knows everything that was going on. So I told her I found a new primary, and she was like, good, because my primary isn't taking me seriously. Like, it's just frustrating that we don't know what's going on. It's hard because I am in my transition program. Luckily, my school nurses are very proactive and text my mom throughout the week, letting her know what they're getting when they check my heart rate. So it's kind of just a waiting game at this point. It really is. It's just a waiting game. We don't know. But so that is why I have been MIA. I know I say this in every video, but I will be trying to make videos. But also one thing, when the first day my heart rate started going really high, I went back and looked at the notes from my appointment that day, and my heart rate was in the 120s. And they didn't even say, hey, this is really high for you sitting here. They didn't do anything. So any kind of primary who sees that your heart rate's in the 120s and doesn't say anything, or doesn't say, hey, you know, this isn't normal, or this isn't right, you know, we need to check you out and get you checked out, it isn't the best. But so I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update. I will be going in on the 4th to get a lower lumbar MRI that the rehab doctor is going to rule out for things causing bladder issues. I have my cardiology appointment in the morning on November 20th, and then I have my urology appointment in the afternoon on the 20th. So I'm hoping we'll get some answers. But as I said, I know that I say this in every video, but I will try to continue posting. But just so you guys know, I'm going through it. I am. But please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video.